a large manpower when he has a project at hand. When he doesn't have that, he's going to reduce by dropping off his subcontractors, laborers, and the rest of it. Of course, you still regard these people as being the manpower within the subsector. I'm saying that you could say that we have taken off 1 million, or we have the capacity of taking about 5 million off the field. That is if the sector is very vibrant. Now, looking at manpower again, what are you looking for in manpower? In Nigeria today, in Lagos today, I can tell you that one of the problem of an average construction company is getting a Nigerian to do technical work. Getting a Nigerian to do technical work. You will have no choice but to use people from neighboring country to do a lot of this work.
Yeah, I was going to come to that because there's this story about importation of artisans actually from neighboring countries, you know, for the industry. Yet we have so much unemployment here.
You will be an artisan when you have taken your time to learn a trade. You will be a laborer when you are to support the artisan. The question here is, how many of our people are learning different trades today? How many? Go to your mechanic workshop. How many of the young people do you see there learning the work? How many? You won't see it. Big problem with Nigeria is we want to get rich quick. The youths have looked at the politicians. It's so easy to make money. Of course, they want it so quick. So nobody is really learning trade. That's the problem. When you can't find the right artisan to do a job,
so you have no option but to
go and import.
That's ridiculous. Anyway, hold your thoughts there. I'll get back to you. Well, we'll take another short break, and when we return, we will continue with that discussion on the construction sector. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Well, we're still looking at the construction sector, and engineer Aminu is still standing by. Well, you were talking about importation of artisan. Another issue in that sector is the issue of foreign firms dominating, that sector, especially for big projects. Does it mean there are no strong indigenous firms, really, if we have to have foreign firms dominating?
You see, naturally, if you want to develop a child, you're going to start you're going to start the training from a very young age, and you grow the child until it becomes whatever you want the child to be. Yes, it is the same thing with professions and professionals. It's the same thing with building companies, firms that are big enough to look into the face of these foreign companies and say that, look, I will do better than you are doing. And I tell you, we can do better than they are doing. But the problem we have is that our own indigenous companies are not being grown. There's always a deliberate policy. There's always a deliberate attempt to grow, your economy, your people, so that they can hold the profession.
No, are you saying that these foreign firms are working outside the policies here?
No, they're not working outside the policy. What I'm saying is that we have a lot of indigenous companies. What is the deliberate effort? What is the deliberate policy for us to grow them to become so big that they can compete with all these foreign companies? What policy do we have?
We have the local content law. Doesn't that also affect this sector?
Yeah, that is worked very well for the petroleum subsector. That is worked very well for them. Yes, local content has helped a lot of, look at the cabotage law you have in the marine sector. Of course, it has helped our indigenous operators. In construction, deliberate efforts must be made to grow our companies, to bring up, the small company. How do you grow them? When you give them small job, you monitor them and ensure it is done well. When that is done well, they move to a bigger one. At a point in time, they would have acquired enough knowledge in terms of exposure to project to compete. They would have acquired a lot of equipment to compete effectively, and they will be having the financial muscle. If they don't have that, the banks will be having a lot of confidence in their efforts, and they will be supported. Then they can come out and say that, yes, you are doing a multi-story complex there. I want to compete with you, and I'm going to do it well. Of course, you will ask me as a client, where have you performed? And I will tell you, I've done A, B, C, D. Why don't you call all these 10 people and ask them how I have performed on those projects? Then that gives you the confidence. And you look at my size. Then you say, okay, yeah, it can compete. But you see, this thing cannot just happen. Because the amount of money you need to grow an organization, to grow a construction company, is huge. And if you're going to make that money yourself as an operator, it will take time. And that is even when you are fortunate to be getting the kind of patronage that can take you to that level. But there are a lot of good engineers around. When you talk to them, when you give them opportunity, they will do it very well, and they can move on like that to compete with the foreign. Take the CECC for an instance. CECC is not doing what we have not done in Nigeria before. They have not done that. Well, go and check them out. They are backed by the state. They are backed by the state. They give them equipment. They give them manpower. They give them very soft loan back home to be able to wrestle everybody out. They can come and say, look, this project, allow me to do it. I'm not going to take a dime from you. When I get to this level, then you come and pay me. I mean, of course, as a client, you will favor that. That man is throwing his own money on your own project. You will favor that. You will patronize him. He has all that advantage, which the local operators don't have. We don't have it. Where is it? No matter how good you have done for yourself in terms of CV, in terms of acquisition of equipment, in terms of confidence from your bank, and no matter how good you have done that, there's a limit to which you can go because of some of these factors I've talked about.
All right. Now, the federal government says it's quite determined to really develop our infrastructure, and the current infrastructure deficit estimates that we still need about 100,000 kilometers of tarmacked road. That's between now and 2020, and as well as, of course, 16 to 20 million housing units. So how can the local firms really key into this? And we can see that we have a lot of opportunities in this sector. How can the local firms key in and perhaps tap into this opportunity?
Look, if you have that opportunity, I can bet you're not going to have enough people to do it. That's when you will see that we have a deficiency in the area of qualified engineers. You're not going to have enough people to do it. But all these things are better said than what? Than done. Of course, let's ask ourselves, where will the money come from? When they are running a budget where the recurrent expenditure has taken off the whole of the money. and they have little for capital expenditure. Where will the money come from? We have to be realistic.